Madison. So, Madison,
Mirror that.
I apologize.
It's okay.
Madison, Tim,
I'll be the same place.
Samara, and then Michael, and then ZecMec, and then.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Everyone was out to like community building.
Sorry?
Everyone was out to like community building.
Posso segurar a caneta?
Okay.
Entendeu?
There you go.
Do we have slides? I don't have something to move them with. Maybe here?
Those look like mine.
I feel you are going to say it.
Yeah, looks like mine. I can go first. Good morning, everybody.
Am I waiting for slides to come up, or waiting for direction here? All right. Good morning. I'm really excited and feel a great privilege to be here speaking to you from representing the ZCG, which I'm a part of. And in addition to supporting grants and reviewing them and approving grants, as we've already discussed, the ZCG also initiated the Global Ambassador program about a year and a half ago. With the purpose of the Global Ambassador program is to grow adoption and awareness in various regions of the world, especially in non-English speaking regions of the world where we felt that we had less influence. And we did this by appointing regional ambassadors. And this position requires some creativity because not only do the ambassadors get to decide what kind of content they want to create in terms of new educational materials in their regional languages that support their culture that they're immersed in, but they can also be creating actual experiences such as meetups. And as we know from being here, this kind of one-on-one in-person event can have a lot more of an impact on people than simply finding materials on the internet, although both of course are important. So this ambassador program, I think, aligns with Zcash where we are currently in a couple of ways. One of them is our current, as we've expressed here, urgent feeling that we need to have more adoption on the one hand and decentralization on the other. And adoption, I think we don't really know in tech what really drives adoption. If we knew, that would be a great secret sauce. But one way that we often approach it is through a grassroots kind of approach, so that we're trying to grow use from the ground up. And so having actual people on the ground is a very important way to do that. And decentralization, of course, when we're talking about decentralization, we're often talking about the infrastructure, where engineers are, where businesses are, so that we have, jurisdictional kinds of decentralization. But decentralization is also important in terms of people, because people are different in different areas of the world. And so we want to have that kind of vibrancy and resiliency that comes with actual people who are using Zcash. But then it also aligns very much with the original Zcash mission, which of course is privacy in terms of having actual autonomy and the ability to have choice and consent through finance. And that mission is not something that we want only for ourselves in wherever where I'm from, in the United States, but wherever you happen to be born. And I think it's very easy. Most of us who are here and participating come from places where the threats of not having privacy are somewhat theoretical. We have the privilege of believing that it couldn't happen here. And so we don't necessarily have to think about what it would be like to be bankless, or what it would be like to have to actually worry about somebody keeping track of our monthly spending, or our views, our orientations, be they sexual or religious or ideas. But there are many places in the world right now where this is a much bigger concern. And so the ambassador program is important for those reasons. I wanted to just quickly show on the screen the posters that you may have seen out in the lobby walking around, because they are representative of some of the areas where we have ambassadors. So my slides seem to have disappeared. Here we go. So this first one is from Italy. Oh, no, that's Brazil. Not sure what happened to Italy. All right. Well, this is Brazil.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here is South Korea. It's showing there's a saying that if it looks good, then it tastes good, which is indicating you can tell the quality of something by examining it, and showing the giving of the Zcash from one to another, which is a very personal grassroots kind of sharing. don't seem to have. Okay. Well, I encourage you to look at the posters outside because they're all very beautiful and made to represent different areas and the different concerns that we have in various areas of the world. And I think it's a real testament to what we're doing and what this program represents. And so I'm just going to introduce our next speaker, and I think next will be Brazil. So we have Michael and Samara representing from Brazil. I want to say that I went to the Voces event earlier this year. It was absolutely phenomenal, very professional with the help of the Zcash Foundation. They put on days of talks in Portuguese from local people and from international people, and it was just amazing to see that level of participation in another area. It was a model, I think, for everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I will stand up and cut this. Thank you.
You want me to go?
Okay.
So, well, good morning, everyone. Morning. It's I'm Michael from Brazil. I'm the ambassador since last year. I'd like to thank for this opportunity. It gives me a lot for Brazil and representing Zcash outside of Brazil. And for meeting many of you for the first time, so that's the amazing thing about crypto. And today I will talk about a little bit our progress in Brazil and how it's started and how it's going. It's like a 10 minutes talk, but I think it will be great. I will show some interesting stuff that we create there and show the historic and the team as well. So I have some slides. I don't know if you.
I think you need to press next.
Yes. So yeah, this is not your identity in Brazil. It's not logo and account. You are choose to use Z other than S because it's Brazil International. And here, how it started and how it's going. And this was my first event representing Zcash in Brazil. In that time, I was alone, so like creating the accounts and the community, and then how it's going now. So we are at 6 people. We got like a proposal approved. I started as ambassador, and I share like the budget and everything, invest in the community because I think investing in people is worth it. So I share with the community growth a lot, and we have 6 people now receiving Zcash and pay directly from the grants. So that's amazing. Zcash was born like at ceremony with 6 people. So today only in Brazil has 6 people. I think ZF and ECC and Zcash grants and our Zcash community need to be proud of it in this progress. I think it's Zcash has 7 years, so it's a baby away yet, but we have a lot of work to do. And yeah, this is our team here, and I will show you our team. It's like a mini, it's a designer. I'm Michael, the ambassador, and Vito is community manager. Vito is here too. Yogi is designer, Zach is moderator, and Samara is PR. Samara is here.
So, I'll introduce myself. I'm Samara, and even though I'm the public relation, most of the times I'm working behind the scenes, so sometimes you don't see much me. online, but I'm the helping hand behind the scenes.
Yeah. I show you some things we create and did in Brazil, and starting like I did my research after getting into Zcash. I saw like Zuko and articles and Bitcoin talk, Satoshi talk about zero knowledge proof. So that's amazing. The paper Zero Coin as well, the idea. So I started doing my homework and I create like the medias. I just I truly believe in privacy and freedom. That's why we're here trying to create this revolution. And that's this full list is like some highlights that you made in Brazil. We got the proposal approved by Zcash Grants for that 2000 for this year, and we made the first Zcon outside of US. So Brazil was chosen to be the first country, and I think for the confidence and for the trust, because community is like about people, you know, you need to trust each other to create great things. So Zcash vision, it's empower people, so you can, we are here so you can prove that. So that's amazing. Yeah, we started like Zcash server, and then that's become Zcash Global with multiple languages. So you can exchange experience and with our Zcash ambassadors, and to create more things to Zcash. For example, we have Vitor working directly with ZFAV. We have Mini and Yogi that are designers working with Zec Hub. So we create some collaboration between these communities, which is great. And we have made many partnerships in Brazil and collaborations with the local communities. We have like GIGX and NING projects, Bankless DAO, Shapeshift, Secret Network, Modular Crypto, Privacy Map. It's a first channel in Brazil that pioneer content about privacy. So he has like 10,000 subscribers already. So we are working together to create some privacy alliance in Brazil, and we are creating this collaboration because there's many things happening in Brazil, like CDBCs and financial censorship. So that's why we are together in that. Yes. Okay.
So I will take a little over here. So you're probably thinking, where is the money going? Like, what we are doing? Like, so here, we are first people first. So like, we think without people, we can do nothing. And so everything we do is through our community. Like, we are growing the community. And how? So we are providing opportunities for working together with us, doing knowledge panel, providing good quality of materials for learning, especially because most of the materials was in English. So me, Vito, and other Brazilians were helping with the translation. Brazil is an undeveloped country, so I feel like it will be a way that people will have a level up. So with the Zcash, so maybe they will find another way, like they can make a little bit, earn a little more money. And we give them, so we make this trust and give them incentives. So like we do prize draws, we do giveaways, like the last one we did was a ledger. Like for us in Brazil, this is very expensive. But it's to give back to the community, like because they trust in us to carry the Brazilian flag, so we think like we need to give it back. So we have mainly community management, moderation. We produce podcasts. I even had one with Ian. I don't think he is here right now, but it was in English, but we are thinking making another one in Portuguese/Spanish. We do airdrops. Normally, at least 3 times in a week in our Discord. And we participating in face-to-face events, crypto side and non-crypto side, and actually online events as well.
Yes, just one thing. We create some with collaboration of James, another developer, Brazilian developer that joined us at the beginning. He developed like his Dizzy. It's a wallet using microtransactions. It's huge on the Discord, so we can educate people for the first contact with Zcash, and like Zcash fees is so low, so you can exchange and send and if you draw, etc. Inside the Discord for our wallet. And I have announced to talk about today. James create the Zcash faucets, so you can use you can put your T address or Z address or unified address to get some fractions in Zcash. So you can, like, we have this idea to spend a Zcash education and giving people little fractions and for them to feel more comfortable to create some wallets, some transactions, because it's hard to, when people, did you try this crypto, and is that, did you need to have your auto custody? It's hard, and he created this so you can access is a Zec and faucet.com, I think. So you can try now. It's live. So yeah, this is our plan in Brazil to create many things for education, and people use this technology because it's incredible, solving many problems.
So a little bit of the mission here. So actually it's providing education and also like on-hand education, as Michael just said. So it's easier when you do something instead of just teaching. Raise the awareness of Zcash, of course, and providing financial freedom and making privacy accessible for all. And we really need to make sure this it will be easier to, especially for people in favelas or people they don't have much access for internet, and so we will be promoting this and promoting and developing the awareness about Zcash in Brazil. Economic development comes together, even if we, as many people as we touch, they will have more access and they will having the chance to learn and earn more money and promote the community participation. Everything in the end is about community. And
yeah.
Many.
Here are some examples of incentives that we create in Brazil. It's key members. We, like the designer team, create some avatars for us in Brazil. So this is from Latin America as well, and Jay from Telegram is the zebra one because it's anonymous. But yeah, we have created many activities with your community to keep them incentivized, and yeah, we created. We have many work to do because it's new. We have 1 year and 2 months or 3 months as official. And yeah, half it's gone, so we will have more 6 months to create more great stuff for Zcash ecosystem and community. So it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks to another Zcash ambassador for the contribution. And then you give the...
Yeah, we are running out of the time, but if you really need it, please reach us. And thank you so much again.
Thank you. That's wonderful. Next, we have Madison, who's coming to us from San Diego. She brings a lot of experience in graphic design and event organization, which she's now using to organize events for Zcash. Come up, Madison.
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. So thank you for waking up early and coming here to listen to all of these ambassador talks. It's an honor to be up here on the stage with these people. So thank you so much. First of all, my name changed. I got married in February, so I'd like to formally introduce myself as Madison Payment, which is fun because payment, crypto. So yes, you'll know me as Madison Payment from here on out. I do marketing and events full-time at Edge, and I'm also a global Zcash ambassador. I consider both to be a great privilege. I get to do something that I really love. And I know this is so cheesy, but I don't really consider myself a maximalist in regards to anything, but I was blessed with a social battery that doesn't really seem to run out. So you can call me a community and meetup maximalist if you'd like. So I didn't plan to do how it started and how it's going with them, but I have the same concept in my slides. So I actually co-organized the oldest and largest crypto meetup group in San Diego. We have over 2.5 thousand members. Back in 2022, I hosted Josh from ECC at an event at the Edge HQ. As you can see in this photo here, we maxed out our event space. It was a really special event, and what this told me was that there are people in San Diego who care about privacy. There are people in San Diego who want to learn more about this technology. So that's kind of how Zcash kind of entered my radar on a pretty big level. How it's going. So my Zcash meetup group is reaching about 60 members and growing. We're averaging about 15 to 20 members per meetup, which is actually pretty good for the bear market. So as you can see in this photo, one of my first meetups that I hosted was a Zcash media movie night. So we pulled all the couches and the rugs into the event space, and we hosted a movie night. So you can see the Zcash media team as well as Jason, and then this is also a core part of my Zcash meetup group. Like I said, we hosted the movie night. I've hosted technical talks as well. I know that, technical talks can sometimes not hit every audience, so I like to throw in technical talks as well as social gatherings and kind of change it up. I've hosted 2 bonfires. We are in San Diego, and so I like to also get people outside of the office and, into the beautiful San Diego. So the bonfires are a really, really fun way to get people involved. And it really brings out it's just like a different speed when you kind of break outside of the office. So those ones are super fun. And then not very many people know this, but I actually have my minor in ceramic arts. So I've always been like, how can I mix ceramics and pottery, or ceramics and crypto, pardon me. And this kind of came up as like somewhat of a joke, like, oh, what if we made a meetup out of it? And I did, and it was one of my favorite meetups of all time. The community had so much fun with it. Paul, he brought his kiddos and they had such a blast. Everyone was making Zcash art. One of my members is actually planning to scan his pottery and mint it as an NFT on the blockchain. So that was such a fun event. I've also hosted a ice cream social where I paid with Zcash with the Flexa app. So those are just some examples of the meetups that I've hosted in regards to Zcash. Another thing I want to mention too is Edge moved into this new office in 2021, and something that we thought was really important was to make half of the office desk space and half of it a venue space. So ever since we entered this office, we really had the mission of bringing people in person, and that's exactly what we've done. I would say I average 2 meetups per month. I host the Bitcoin and Open Blockchain meetup group that we hosted Josh at, and then I host this Zcash meetup group. But we also open our event space to other crypto meetup groups in San Diego. So I've hosted the ETH San Diego meetup group. There's a meetup group called Crypto San Diego. We've hosted them. And there's many crypto meetup groups. Our venue is always open to them. So people kind of know to come to us if they're looking to get connected in the San Diego space. Here's some photos from some of the meetups that I've hosted. So as you can see, the one in the center middle, that one is the movie night that we hosted. I have one of the pottery pieces here with the Z's, and then at the bottom right, you can see that was another photo from the pottery night. I printed out zebras and shields and Zec logos, and yeah, that one was a blast. We have the bonfire, and then top left that was a roundtable discussion on regulation, so that was one of the more technical ones. But I know these are pictures to most of you, but the people in these photos have really become some of the closest people in my life. I sometimes get emotional when I talk about the people that, I get to surround myself with. And it's true, these people really light up my world, and it's truly an honor to do what I do. Amber also mentioned that ambassadors get a level of creativity and autonomy, and I would say that is 100% true. As you can see, I've been able to run with my crazy ideas, and it's really paid off, and I think my members really love it as well. I just want to touch on a couple of things that I find really important when it comes to community. The first thing is inclusivity. I think there's enough division in this world. You don't have to agree with everyone around you, but it's important to come together with people that, are interested in the same things you're interested in. They want to talk about the same things you want to talk about. They want to learn from one another. The other thing is education. Not many universities and colleges have blockchain courses, and even if they did, which I know some of them do, but this industry moves so fast that they'd have to be changing the curriculum, every other month, and we all know how fast traditional education systems work. That doesn't really work. So these in-person meetups are really critical to educate people on what's happening in the here and now in the crypto industry, as well as networking. I mean, it's what a lot of us are here to do at this conference. It's what we get together for. Something a super tangible example of how critical these meetups are is Edge was actually founded at the meetup I now organize. So, of course, I wasn't organizing the meetup back then, but the Bitcoin and Open Blockchain meetup group is the meetup that the co-founders actually met at. And now we have Edge, which is, such a cool testament to just in-person meetups. Also, we're looking out for our members. I've had the privilege of onboarding 2 of my community members onto the Edge team, just because, when there's a need, of course I'm going to think about the people that I'm connecting with. I'm always thinking about the conversations I have with my community members and how I can get them involved in the thing that they're interested in. Like I mentioned, I feel blessed to do what I do and be passionate about what I do, and I want others to feel the same way about whatever they're interested in. So, you're just looking out for everybody. This is my encouragement to all of you. Start today. Think about ways that you can get involved or get others involved. Start with your strengths and lean on your community for the rest. You don't have to be a community-facing member if that's not what you want to be. You don't have to be the world's best software engineer and, do the meetup stuff. You lean on one another. I write here that delegation is empowering for all parties. If you don't have the strength, leaning on somebody that does have the strength, empowers both people. And, I think that's a really critical part of community. This is my most important point. Build, maintain, and nourish genuine connections. If you're not doing it genuinely, then you just shouldn't be doing it at all. I think the more honest and true and raw you can be with those around you, they'll reciprocate the same thing. And you have to have each other's back, and I think that's been really evident in the community that I've fostered. And so I would really encourage you all to do the same. Show up every day, just as you are, and those around you will do the same. Lastly, I know it just says thank you, exclamation point, but really, thank you. Thank you all for trusting me with spreading the word about Zcash and the technology that you worked so hard on. I know that many of you put in a lot of hours into this project, so thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Maggie.
Also, if you want to get connected with me, please reach out. If you are hosting a meetup and you don't know where to start, reach out to me. I got you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madison. Payment. Next, we have Tim, who is one of our newest ambassadors. Although he's been involved in Zcash for a few years, he's coming to us from French Polynesia, where the wealth disparity is quite salient.
One, two. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I haven't prepared any slides because I wasn't sure about the time I need to have for the speech. But first of all, thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for organizing this. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to express myself here. So you might know me on the forum under the name Team Ukrainian, but I'm living in French Polynesia, so I'm French too, but I have Ukrainian origins. So that was quite a way to go to arrive in French Polynesia. And I discovered Zcash almost in the same moment as a Bitcoin. So when I first discovered Bitcoin, I thought wow, this thing is awesome. You can be literally free with this thing. But then I started to think, wait a minute, if I go to buy some bread with my Bitcoin, I'm not really sure I want a guy from a bread store to know how much Bitcoin I have. So I advanced. I started to look in something more profound, something really that will respond to this necessity of privacy, transactional privacy. So I found Zcash. And since I discovered Zcash, I was involved in a Telegram community for a while. Then one anonymous person, I don't know who is it, I never seen him, he proposed me to be a member of Zcap, to just get engaged, to just have a voice to express myself. So I willingly accept that invitation, so I became a member of Zcap. After a while, I saw that there is also Zcash Ambassador program. So I said to myself, okay, I'm trying already to onboard Zcashers, make more Zcashers, so how can I can go further. So this ambassador program is what it seemed to me a really thing to go on. So I applied for the Zcash ambassador program and I was accepted. So as my background, like except Zcash ambassadorship, I'm working in a payment company in French Polynesia. So we have a payment system local for French Polynesia. It's like a Visa, but just in small scale. And I was already a Zcasher when I came to this company. So I was thinking of how we can bring cryptocurrencies in general and Zcash in particular to French Polynesia, because it's such a closed ecosystem in all ways, in nature, in culture, in business. So, but it lives from tourism. A lot of people come to Polynesia. It's like the pearls, vanilla, and the tourism. It's all that Polynesia has. And there is a gap between poor and rich that rises from year to year. And there are some people who have no homes, but they can get sponsored by a local operator, so they can make some TikTok video. Like there's a homeless person who have a TikTok, but he has no home. So I thought, this guy can have a Zcash wallet, even though he has any home, he hasn't any credit card, he can have a Zcash wallet because he got sponsored by a local operator. And this is the thing which is really, really great. So I'm just trying to tell people what do you really need from transactions, from cryptocurrency? Because also in French Polynesia, people are not aware of all these events, all this progress which is made in cryptocurrency space. They are living basically in Facebook till now. Like all the internet is basically Facebook. They selling things on Facebook. They organizing meetups. It's everything. Like I don't feel comfortable with that fact. It might be funny, but yeah, you're a cashier. You don't really appreciate Facebook. For me, it's like normal thing. So I started to talk about Zcash like a lot to everyone, and it was for some it was a bit annoying. I can be annoying, yeah, but I understood that if a Polynesian, if a Tahitian, he don't want something, you better not to push himself. But you can make him you can turn it out that way that he'll say, actually, I might need that. So this is kind of my approach that I try to make. I also try to bring a lot of positivity to the community, like not just in French. I'm also participated in Russian community, in chats, in English, because there are a lot of discussion that goes on in a lot of places. There are Discord, there are Telegram, there are Signal, there are Matrix, and like Zcash communities everywhere. And there are a lot of French people who are not even speak French, they use English. So basically, I'd like, as an ambassador, what are the definition of ambassador? It's someone who connects people, who can bring someone, who can establish a link between the thing that ambassador represents and other people from the exterior. So bringing new, just new users who just buy a coin is not the only thing to do. As I heard a lot with this during discussions with people here, Zcash also needs a lot of mind, a lot of brain to keep it developing. So sometimes you can find someone like developers are the community too. It's not just those who send memos and they just see the wallet and they don't even know how blockchain explorer works. It's also developers. So the thing I like to do is like bring everyone which can contribute in any way to Zcash ecosystem. And I'd like to pick people like one by one. You could be useful. You can do that. Look, you use Zcash, but you don't know what is ZecHub. So why don't you go to see what is ZecHub, and maybe you can earn some Zcash. Like people are not, sometimes I have a feeling that people are not aware of how wide the Zcash ecosystem is. So this is important. This is an important thing to connect all these parts of Zcash ecosystem, which I thought were not so fluid at the moment, but it seems to be getting better and better. And as working in payment company, we observe cryptocurrency for a moment. There is a lot to do on regulation level because it's like ecosystem. French Polynesia is France, but we have our own president, Polynesian president. By the way, he's a Bitcoiner, so I should make him Zcasher. And so I think there is a real possibility that opens to us with this kind of government, actually this kind of small independence from France, that we can move on to make Zcash like network which is used like Visa or MasterCard or American Express, because this day we are working with these networks. And if you connect to Zcash network, if you make it available on every terminal, maybe there is a way to open more ways. Like it's a win-win situation. Zcash gains adoption and Polynesia gains more way to attract tourists and to bring money from exterior, because it's basically what Polynesia needs. So it's a work on different level. We're trying to engage some innovation labs in our company, so we can just experiment with each other. I don't have photos because people are there. They like to have some privacy. I think you understand. You totally understand that. But I think there is a way to go. But foundations are here, and it's really a good thing that Zcash is here. It gives us a lot of possibilities. It gives us a lot of ideas, because we can use Zcash in ton different ways, and everyone needs something particular. So I hope we will be able to find the right approach so everyone can have everything they want And because on the basic level, it's privacy. It's just how you use this privacy. Is it for identity? Is it for payments? Or is it for something else like tickets or NFTs? I don't know. I'm very excited about ZSA. I'm looking at it closely, and I think there will be a lot of things to do, especially if I will speak a bit, again about the company I work in, because my CEO, he said, we should think about creating some local currency on crypto. I said, we won't be able to do it until it's private. So look at this ZSAs, and I think we might be able to do something with that. And this is our goal, like, it's a long run to go, but I hope and I think it will be successful run. So thank you. I think I'm around out of the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Like Tim, ZecMec is one of our newest ambassadors, and he also, like Tim, is representing in one area but has a very diverse background of his own with its citizenship in Ireland. ZecMec tells me that mec is French for dude, and so ZecMec is kind of a French pun, and he's representing from Occitania.
Hi. Yeah, so some of you will know me as ZecMec from the ambassador's reception, and others may also have seen some of the songs I've been putting out on the ambassador's reception under the handle of Johnny Zcash, which is also me. They're kind of a fun idea, I think, maybe. Maybe not that funny. I don't know. I enjoy putting them out there. Anyhow, I've been putting these meme Zcash songs out to try and promote the technology. I think that the technology is transformative, and we all know that. But much of the world is unaware. Most of the people I know are sadly laboring under the misapprehension that Zcash is, when you talk to people, they think you're trying to sell them something. And I think that the idea that this is an investment is actually the wrong thing. It's a technology, and I'll come back to that later. But so my YouTube channel has been thus far focused on this kind of promoting via song. However, I want to talk to you really today more about the longer term vision I have for a project in my area. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the YouTube channel Unheard by Freddie Sayers, but it's kind of a current affairs and politics news show, let's say, podcast, but it takes place in a cafe in central London with a live audience, and it's very informative, but also it's a place for people to get together and to bounce ideas off each other. It's a bit like it's not the same crowd, but it's like here, like Zcon. It's this kind of a thing, but it happens frequently. It happens every week or every other day. They have interesting guests, and I found that this is a very good vehicle for getting ideas out there into the world. So my short-term goal is that I'm currently remodeling part of the wine cellars in a property we have in France to create something called the Zebra Lounge. And I don't know if we can go through to the last slide on this, because is it me who does it? I don't know. Do I just skip through at the end? This is for late. Oh, there we go. Oh, I went too far. Oh, fail. Oh dear. Sorry. Anyway, can I go through it again? No, okay. Anyhow, the short-term goal is to remodel these wine cellars and to create this, the Zebra Lounge and the shielded pool bar, which I think will, once ready, will be a place to hold meetups and Zcash events and other privacy as normal away from the Keys meetings. The idea is to kind of have a permanent Zcash sort of home and a permanent Zcash friendly bar and restaurant, club, lounge, where people ultimately can pay their bills in Zec, and they'll get a reduced rate for paying in Zec. And maybe one day we'll only accept Zec, because I don't know about you, but I don't like using fiat money, which is being debased at a rate of 8 or 9 or 10%, or in some countries 40% per year. So this is the short-term goal. The medium-term goal will be to once the Zebra Lounge is up and running, and doing these physical events, we'll then start to use the Zebra Lounge to host an ongoing series of talks, debates, lectures, and a bit like a live supper club environment, like I described in the Unheard podcast. And we would stream this live with the live audience in the Zebra Lounge via the ambassador's reception. And I know from speaking with Ryan at the ZF AV Club that he's interested in collaborating and helping. It's been great to be part of the community, the Zcash community, and to realise that there are people, like-minded individuals, striving to improve the world and who are willing to help each other. Maybe not for personal enrichment, but actually because people care about the project. So that was the medium-term goal. The long-term goal, ultimately, for the Zebra Lounge Club and Ambassador's Reception to become a dual physical virtual marketplace for ideas, goods and services, for Zcashers and for privacy as normal digital nomads, businesses, artists, musicians, academics and organizations to work at, to meet, to play and to try to drive this positive change in the world from a really broad range of fields and industries. I think there is, however, a problem. Obviously, the chicken and the egg problem. I was talking to lots of people about this yesterday. People need to have Zec in order to spend it, but they also need somewhere to spend it. How do they get it? Where do they spend it? Which do you do first? And I would like for the Zebra Lounge and the Ambassador's Reception to try to help to serve as a proof of concept for this longer-term goal of building a circular Zcash economy within my community, but also within the wider world. There are various options to incentivize people to pay with Zec. For example, repurposing ambassador stipends to subsidize food and drink consumed in the Zebra Lounge. So, this would be maybe Zebra Lounge members get subsidized food rather than the ambassador having the stipend. And you can therefore incentivize people, maybe get them through their stomachs, let's say. I think yesterday Ian's talk was really inspiring and chimed exactly with many of the thoughts that I've been having. The store of value Bitcoin narrative, I think it's missing the big opportunity. I think that most people in the world don't actually have the assets for store of value to matter. I think most people are, in America, I looked up yesterday the statistic, I think it's 58% of Americans don't even have $5,000 of savings to rely on. And 42% of Americans don't even have $1,000 of savings to rely on. So if you try to convince these people that they should buy Zcash because it's a great investment and it's a store of value, who cares? Why do they care? They have no value to store. On the other hand, all people every day have to spend money to live. And so I think it's a much more compelling argument to make that this is a technology which provides a medium of exchange that all people can use, that is private and censorship resistant. And, well, I mean, I'm preaching to the choir, obviously, you guys know all of this, but for me, this is more the route we need to go down. And to be honest, I have to say, it's funny, but last night we went for a meal in Barcelona, and I think I must have had a bad paella or something, because I was feeling very ill all night, and I was thinking about what I was going to say today. And then this morning, I was actually really violently ill, and while I was getting over my illness, I received a text from a friend. He's more elderly, he's a really good friend of the family, and I'd recommended that he would maybe like to join us virtually at Zcon, and so I'd sent him an invitation, and I'm going to read you what he wrote. Because, I mean, imagine this, I got this while I was being sick, basically, but I said to him, okay, so I invited him, and he says, hey Josh, that's my name, not ZecMec, and he says, skepticism is in my DNA, and I'm too long in the tooth not to suspect that unsolicited offers of free financial advice are a necessary preliminary to separating suckers from their savings. Were I looking to make an investment, I would wish to be cognizant of an agent's qualifications, experience, motivation, and track record. However, my reply is simply for your information and not intended to imply an interest in debating the matter. Bonne chance. So I was like, okay, well, I did reply, but very shortly, and I just said, well, I'm not trying to make you invest. That's not the point. I said to him, look, I just care about preserving democracy. I'm concerned by the potential for a dangerous slide into a technocratic authoritarianism that I do not want for my children or for yours. And I just thought that you were similarly minded. But no worries, if it doesn't interest you, that's fine, that's all good. But the reason I'm saying this is because I feel like we're all pushing a lot of the time against this very closed, unenlightened public. And when you try to convince people of something and they think you're trying to steal from them or trick them or sandbank them and feed them, then of course there's resistance. And really what this person needs to understand is that this is a technology, this is not an investment opportunity, this is a technology that we are going to be able to change the world for the better with. And indeed, the people who are building it, as he says, they are exactly qualified to provide that technology. I mean, I don't know if there are people more qualified on earth to provide this technology, but unfortunately, I think that's the problem, that people don't know this, and so I think the narrative needs to be somewhat amended to reflect the reality of the situation. I liked Balaji's The Network State, and I'm interested in the potential of combining the ideas of the network state with the power of Zcash, augmented reality, and really, in the long term, what I would like to create at the Zebra Lounge is, I'd like ZSA's tokenized membership, where you have a ZSA which gives you the right to privileges and, I don't know, also shows you, maybe with your ZSA, it shows on Google Maps, it'll let you see where the Zebra Lounge is. It maybe lets you see where we have pop-up events. Nobody else will know, but we will. And I was speaking to people yesterday from Kedit, and it does sound like ZSAs are coming soon. I can see I've run out of time, so I'll wrap it up. But I will say that we are hoping to begin our first events this summer at the Zebra Lounge. We're not going to be, you won't find us at the Zebra Lounge, you'll find us at scudozebrato.com, which is the Italian for shielded zebra. And I think much like the speakeasy environment that we want to create, we don't want to make it too easy for people to find the Zebra Lounge. Plus there are some other ones, and an erotic film once called that, so we don't want people to get confused. So anyway, please look us up at scudozebrato.com, and I hope to see you there one day soon. So.
Phenomenal. I just want to add that the contributions of these ambassadors and the ones who aren't represented here also are unique and invaluable and irreplaceable, actually. And I want to extend my appreciation on behalf of ZCG and the wider community to our ambassadors for providing this value. Thank you.
Okay.